why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon Colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
You are going to paint this system red, my friend. You wrote that paper on breeding a cystipig with 30% more tumors. Subtle and discreet. Exactly what I need.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend. unlikely bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down to 90%. Skip drive
Shit.
evaporated.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Investigating an illegally grounded ship. All spacecraft must arrive and depart from authorized landing pads. That's board law, that is. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company pop.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened?
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice.
Over here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Well, that's a relief. You don't want to know how much paperwork's involved in paying off a gravesite fee. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
I just earned a fine bonus.
Waste of company ammo.
It's not...
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
Talk to the lieutenant. She's certified in customer service.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders here. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using... I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these You out of your mind? No way. Once we've dealt with these marauders, I just, need a couple of winks to... You think? Most marauders can't even talk. The criminals... You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off.
Here we go. Waste of company ammo.
be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenities, including the cargo hold's workbench. All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the... Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene.
Not just anyone is chosen to enforce landing regulations, you know? I had to fill out 4 whole forms.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for gesture procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to... You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. The settlement of Edgewater is located nearby. I recommend speaking to the administrator of Edgewater and requesting assistance. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time. What can I do for you? Goodbye. If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain. If you possess a power regulator, please insert the part into the appropriate slot, which is this one. These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
Damn marauders are out of control. Huh?
I smell blood! Help!
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss fine. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless attack. That's right. That's what I've been saying. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them when the swarms of mechanicals come. I've been gathering up a war chest. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of op.
there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you...
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Hey. I don't have time for this.
Just gotta keep our heads up.
Got my sights on you.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's...
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just... old. Sorry,
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker? Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the Botanical. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to... Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leader. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so...
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
You're safer inside the walls.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters. On account of it's his job and what all, but... that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. They're neighbors. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe it's just an idea. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong. That's what my dad used to say. Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Where are we headed? I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the... And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's toss... Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy. Like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers.
Oh, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in... Yes. Yes, it is. But it's my job, and I take it very seriously. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit? The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson. Mock me all you want. I know my beliefs to be true. You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us. We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us. removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to grand architects ourselves, after a fashion. Well, first there's the matter of the secret blood rites and animal sacrifices. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes...
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What is Mr. Thompson at? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down Band Hereditary. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence, my retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M'Bakono handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here. Any progress? Please get it. What would you like to discuss?
Yeah, huh? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says real machines have gunked up oil. Scratched the machine Vic... I think there's something higher and greater than us. But... In a jiff. Be right there. On my way. Sure. I'm going. Here we go! Look out! Gotcha. On my way. I'm on it! Got him all. Yeah, huh? Clever.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Any progress on that matter? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well, what the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan while fighting it. Well, yes. But I assure you, I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering. Please, though, nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to... Free spiritual counseling, someone to...
I'm 28.
Exactly. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery. And to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emeraldville.
Gonna find you!
Let's end this quick! First one! Everyone all right? Oh, wow. Here they come! I'm on it! We're getting through! Yep.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just... If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. Appreciate it. Honest. I'll tell you what, vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody... What is it?
so pretty.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps...
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in... Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by our... He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and...
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Yeah, huh?
Anything else? That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering. This is the old botanical lab, in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever. That sounds like fever talk, all right. So why am I tempted to believe you? Where did you say you... Is that a new settlement of some kind? Oh, dear. I see what's happening. You've been taking Adrena time. That stuff will burn right through your... You ought to try some of my purgative tea. I'm listening. I am getting old, you know. My dear, we are all visitors in a... Me... More of the colony felt the way you did. We'd have ourselves a proper revolution. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. What makes you say that? I labor in my gardens. I fashion medicine from herbs and leaves. I nurse the sick to health. This is my home. It will be... If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then you are at... Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate... This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that. That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started, we had a store of medicine locked away. But Reed refused to treat him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. I could not possibly care less. I'm listening.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
What is it? I always wanted to poke around in here.
Thanks. Thank you.
Incoming! That's the last of them!
assist me.
That's smart. Yeah, huh? The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Unexpected noise identified. Sweeping V.
Wow, not even a scratch. Three switches. That'll be easy enough.
Processing.
Got it!
Performing an
Here they come! That's the last of them! Two more. What'll happen to Miss... Here they come!
Away, Phantom! You're not real. You're not real.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Investigate.
Incoming! Attacking! That's the last of them! Where'd it go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Veil?
Halt. Investigating.
I'm not sure what the ride is. All I know is the decision's final. Yeah, huh? Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving... It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big pap. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I just... Really? I mean, wow. Yeah, huh? I think you did the rightest thing you could, sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for, even if they ain't care much for me. Be right there.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not... Whoa, Miss Parvati.
Are you,
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running.
Oh gosh, no, I'm just...
I seen you wandering around here. You know... Well, what
I don't know how much longer we'll last without power.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live on... You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for... Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Look at that.
Yeah, huh? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around. I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when if he wants to...
What do you think you're doing? Do what you want, I guess.
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. Ever since the power cut out, I've been thinking about... You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with...
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. Would you? I've been thinking about going back. I get sick thinking about work. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back... What's on your mind? Couple months. I'll...
Marauders can't see us in the dark. The matter's been weighing on me. I'm staying put until I know what's become of Zoe.
way, Phantom! No, 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 just leave me alone! Get away! You're not real! You're not real! You can talk? The Phantom's now. See, Higgins? This is... Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for... Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Salt. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple... Mechanicals lost their bolts. Open... I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipe. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an Intergalactic. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but... Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical... There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months.
Any luck finding? No kidding. Really? Look at that! Building a computer. I appreciate. In fact. Well, don't keep. Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have. 2 whole data pads? Be still. Sure. No kidding. The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. That's a complete set. Aside from you, Ms.
I'm glad we could have.
I've been saving something for you.
I don't know how much longer we'll last without power.
Adelaide's okay.
Food's bound to